We live.
Shalom, shalom.
Let me see.
We live. Shalom, shalom. It'll be good. All right, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, as always, I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High, His only begotten Son. Call Allah Imla Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostle and others of great millstone, root and teach well. Wa Barakathum, unto the hopeful elect. All right, now this is GMS Dallas Younger Bros, and we're gonna be going into everyone who ministers to the elect is significant. You see, and the Lord willing, it exhorts and it gives edification. Because there's so many offices the Heavenly Father has set up. When it comes to ministering the body, and every single office has an important and significant role. It's whether that be a brother that just ministers to the body, a friend of the prophets, or whether that be a wife of one of the prophets who's following him and just serving him. Whether that be a brother that's real good with the prophecies that light the streets up, or it could be a brother that he may just do like basic little lessons. What I'm saying? He's more somebody that can teach the beginners and feed that baby food. You see, but either way, nonetheless, every single role has an important, significant office. You see, and it's not to be looked down upon. Yahweh Shah stated that every single man that served me is likened unto me, which will, in fact, we'll open up with that one. We'll get Matthew 25. Because Yahweh Shah stated that every single man that serves me, the way you treat them is how you would treat me, which is proving that he looks at every man that's serving him as being significant, which we're going to in this sit down, which I'm going to go to Baba Gashah. Let's get Matthew 25 and 37.
This is Matthew 25 and verse 37. It says, you said 25 and 37, right?
God.
Yeah, Matthew. It's Matthew.
Matter of fact, jump up a little bit. Let's go.
I think it's
you just go like a couple verses up. Because it's going to go into a whole long parable, but we just go about 34.
Yeah, I think it's 34. Yeah, it is Matthew 25 and 34. It says, Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, and inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundations of the world.
Yep, and that's for the elect, right? The elect are going to be the ones that inherit the kingdom the first go round, the first fruits, the first spirits created of all the tribes of the nation of Israel, right? But that's what he's speaking about. That's who's going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, those who partook in his sufferings and follow him and endure. You got it, bro.
Verse 36. So like verse 35. For I was hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked.
It's talking about all the ways you can minister into the body. You know what I'm saying? All the ways you can serve. And because really, ultimately, which that's the spirit on me, I want to do a lesson on that as well. It's conditions to this marriage. It's a way you gotta serve, like, and show the Lord you love him. And one of those ways is by the way you treat your fellow brethren. You see, like by the way you treat the brethren, that's how the Lord gonna look at how you treated him. So those are some of the conditions we have when it comes to trying to be in this marriage. Because this ain't no marriage where you can just do whatever you want to do. There's like a woman that tries to marry a man, and she said, "I still want to go to clubs. I still want to have all these male guys in my life. I still want to have I want to have all these options. I want to still not I don't want to withhold your name with like respect. I want to be the same 304 I was before I married you." But that's not how it works. That's why when somebody quote unquote gets married, they say till death do us part. It says all those things, all those vows. Well, that's how it is when you take the marriage of the Lord. It's vows into it. And one of those things is like we just read right here. You serving the body. You see, you living your life to minister into the Lord's men. You got it, bro. And his men and his women. There's elect family. There's families of the elect that may need help, and you still help them out too. You got it, bro.
I'm gonna keep going. I got a scripture too, but I'm gonna keep going. It's Matthew 25 and 35 again. For I was hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me.
You
Then,
was there. You was there for the body. You see, you was there. You ministered. You helped out. Like really, that's what that word minister means. Everybody love ministry and all these Christians, but minister means to serve, and that's something that you don't see in the Christian church. You don't see the pastor serving his congregation. You see, they're serving him. You see, they're the ones doing all these things for him, but you're supposed to be the men that are, especially the men that are in higher rank and authority. It says the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. So you're supposed to be in the spirit of serving more when you at a higher level. You
hey,
got it, bro.
that's how Yahushua was. Keep going though. It says, verse 37. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee?
When Yahushua made a parable, that was a parable that he
Yeah,
said, and what he meant is that all the men that are serving him, he's gonna look at the way you treat them as how you treated him, because guess what, Yahushua dwells in all his men. The true servants of the Lord had the spirit of Yahushua, and Yahushua is resonating, dwelling with him. So the way you treat all the men of the Lord, the servants of the Lord, the true believers, that's how the Lord's gonna look at how you treated him. You got it, bro.
God, verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, insomuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
All right, and I want to get that definition of least real quick. Let me see if I got it right here in this Bible dictionary. And if not, I'm gonna get in the blue letter.
I'll be looking at it.
God, yeah, we gonna get that word least. That goes right with the lesson that we're doing. You see, because there's certain men that the Lord is gonna have to be there. He's gonna have them be more notarized, or more on more on the level. But that doesn't mean that you treat the other brothers that may not be on that level like I'm not gonna treat him good because he's not on that level. Because really, ultimately, you know, every
Mhm.
brother is looked at as dwelling with Yahweh shine them, and you don't know who that brother is.
Yep.
You see there, because there is a hierarchy, but however, we ain't gonna know that hierarchy until Yahweh Shah returns back. So even if a brother has a little real small role, that brother could be on a high level. The scriptures say, which I got that. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get that after you get yours. That he that is least among you shall be the greatest.
Uh-huh.
So somebody who takes that humble role of just serving, not no reputation, a lot of those men are gonna be the ones that be the high on the highest level in the kingdom. You see, or on a higher level. Which of course, when you compare it to the Israelites, we all gonna be on a high level to compare it to the nations, everybody else 2/3. But it's gonna be a hierarchy. But see, that's the beauty of the elect is we don't care what position we in, we just want to make it. Whatever the Lord puts us in, we gonna take it because that's what you were from the beginning anyway. You know, but you got it, bro.
God, this that word least is a Strong's G 1646. What's that? Eli Elitos. If I'm saying that right. Elakiso. It's kind of hard to say these Greek words. I'll play it a little bit if it sounds. But when you go down, it says smallest, least in size, in amount, in importance, in authority.
Ooh, and authority, get that F2.
And it says, it says in authority of commandments. It says in estimation of men, of persons, in rank and excellence.
Rank and excellence. So it could be it could be a brother that you know
Just came in.
just came in, might have freshly crossed over, or it could be a brother on the damn side.
Yeah.
You know, or it could be one of the apostles. You see, but ultimately, you got to look at everybody the same and treat everybody the same way.
Yeah.
You can't look at anybody that he might not have y'all shot dwelling with him because he's on a low level, because we just read it right there. Lower in rank and in authority.
Yep.
It said basically like estimation amongst men. So it's gonna be men that,
More esteemed amongst others.
less esteemed men. It said I'm looking at even the way you treat those men is how you treated me, which proves that everybody is important. Because like there are certain roles that might not get looked at as much. You might be brothers that might do a lot of cooking, that might do a lot of helping out on the side, like outside of the camera, but you don't see that. And then when they in the camp, they might not bring out very many scriptures. They might not be in the spotlight, but that brother has a great important role.
Yep.
You see, but either way, you still got to serve every brother the same. Every brother is important. Every brother's role plays a huge factor in this movie. Those that are to the believers. You got it, bro.
That was pretty much it on that, but I got a precept real quick.
You can get yours.
This is John chapter 13 and verse 35. It says, let me see if I need to start up. Yeah, but it's John 13. Yeah, this is John 13 and 34. I'm going to start at 34. A new commandment, this is Yahweh Shah speaking also. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another, yet that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another. Verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if you have love to one another. So Yahweh Shah is going into the aspect of the ones that are going to be the fruit of Yahweh Shah, to follow of Yahweh Shah. There's a certain way they're going to conduct themselves. Henceforth, how the priest is going into, people, the antichrist Christians, and the people will speak about ministry. Where the root word in that word ministry is minister, which means servitude, pretty much. So Yahweh Shah said, how y'all going to be serving one another is going to be your depiction that you're disciples and fruits of me. Because how we serve one another, because when Yahweh Shah came down, he came down and what? He gave example of how to do what? How to serve, how to minister. He washed the disciples' feet. And when they go into washing somebody's feet, that the servant that washes somebody's feet is the lowest type of servant. So Yahweh Shah was displaying how to be ministering in a ministry, how to serve, no matter nobody's ranking. Yahweh Shai knew who he was. He's the Son of Man. But what? He washed the disciples' feet, you know? So it goes into the aspect of how we are supposed to conduct with each other, man. No matter whether that brother just crossed over, brothers on the other side, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if Yahweh Shai dwell in that brother, you serve unto him, man. That's why we'll be reading in this Matthew 25, Yahweh Shai did that parable. It's like the king was like, hey, you did this unto my foot servant. You treated him with respect. You know what I'm saying? Didn't belittle him. So that's you done it unto me, because we ambassadors of the Lord. That was it on that though.
Baba Shah, let's get that next pre. Let me get it right here. I had sent it in the thing. It's one of those accounts where it speaks on how the least among you. I think I got Matthew 18.
Matthew 18.
Matthew 10 and verse 40. Matthew 10 and 40.
Let me get it. This is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 40. And when you read the title of this in the blue of the Bible, it says the reward of service. So this is Matthew 10 and verse 40. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me.
That's talking about you taking heed into this message of salvation being preached unto you. We're the men teaching his word are known as the ambassadors. You see, and those that accept the message of the ambassadors, they ultimately accept the message of the king, right? And what's happening is the Lord is bidding the elect to the marriage. They're the only ones that's going to actually really take hold on those conditions and really join the marriage. So that's what's happening right now. You see, so that's what it's going into. Who he that receiveth me. So that means if you receive the men of the Lord or the followers of Yahweh Shai, you're receiving Yahweh Shai. And if you receive Yahweh Shai, you're receiving the Heavenly Father. You got it, bro.
Verse 41. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward.
That means the believers. You come into this thing you believe.
Mm-hmm.
You got it, bro.
And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man reward.
Uh-huh. You receive it. You see the name of righteous man, the name of righteous man. You see, you believe he's a man of the Lord, right? You believe that the Lord is working through that man. You got it, bro.
And ultimately, just add on to it. Ultimately, that reward would be salvation, because the prophets and the righteous men, which the prophets are righteous men too, they're going to receive salvation by the Lord. And if you receive those men, like you said, the believers, what I'm saying, things like that, you take part in receiving that salvation. But verse 42.
You got the blue letter?
Yeah, I got a blue letter.
NLT.
Let me get that NLT, man. NLT that thing. It's a little different on the computer, but I got it. It's Matthew 10. You want that 42 or 40?
42.
Okay, this Matthew 10 and 42 in the NLT. And if you give even a cup of cold water to one of the least of my followers, you will surely be rewarded.
Kind. You see, and when you go into the other one, it speaks on how you shall receive a prophet's reward. You see? So even somebody that has a role of just serving, you help the prophets out. You may aid them with money, you may aid them with food or whatever the case may be. Because brothers give tights. You have certain brothers that might make garments and make different things for brothers and stuff for the body. Hey, you're gonna be rewarded for that. And that's something to continue to strive to do, because that small role that might look small in a fleshly deal, that's a big deal, because Lord said, whoever does that to one of my men, you shall receive a prophet's reward. Showing you the importance of charity. So a brother that just ministering to the body, he's important too.
Yep.
See, there's a thing called Friends of the Prophets. Without further ado, we can go and start with the Romans 12.
I already knew. This is Romans 12. You want to start it? You wanted to start at 1 and jump down?
No, we're gonna go to 4.
Just go to 4. All right.
Let me see. I think it might be 8. It's either 4 or 8.
It's 4.
You go into the gifts.
Yeah.
God, yep. We'll go to 4.
I'm gonna start at 3, if you don't mind. But this is Romans 12, and the title of it says "Dedicated Service." I'm gonna start at verse 3. It says, "For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to be soberly, according to as Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai have dealt to every man the measure of faith."
And that's what we got to do. We got to understand that this grace period is meant for us to just be vessels to serve the Lord, to exalt the Lord. It's not of us to try and think, yeah, I'm a high level. I'm a high level. I'm doing the work and all this stuff. Our righteousness is filthy rags, man. You see, and we can't even withhold the standard that our forefathers withheld, being in captivity, being in a worse the kingdom full of sins. We can't even give a sacrifice better than our forefathers. So there's no way that you should have any type ounce of pride or be thinking that you on a high level, because you're not. We all need salvation just as much as Pookie, Ray, or one of the Vatos, or Guadalupe, one of these other Israelite Northern Kingdom Israelites. You see, because guess what? We in his flesh. You got it.
Now, I just want to add a quick point too, because as I said at the end of the verse, how the power had dealt every man the measure of his faith. Going into the aspect of what you were saying, what you put in that Matthew 20, how pretty much the Lord has given us, because verse 4 was going to go into the offices. How it doesn't matter whether you are in a situation of being an apostle or you in a situation of being the newest brother. The Lord gave all of y'all a portion of the faith, all at the end of the day, pursuant to Ephesians, for the thing. What did it say? For the unity of the faith at the end of the day, for the benefit of the body, so everybody could come to the unity of the faith. That's a reason for everybody been given a certain measure of faith to benefit the body, because it's going to go into that. This verse 4 though says,
I got so if you don't mind. This is James chapter 1 and verse 17 says, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. So the gift that you got came from the Lord anyway. The fact that you're in the spotlight is because the Lord wanted to be in that spotlight. Well, yeah, because the Lord wants you to be in that spotlight. And if you're not in the spotlight, guess what? The Lord didn't want you to be in the spotlight. As brothers like to say, everybody can't be Michael Jordan. Somebody got to be Scottie Pippen. Somebody got to be,
Dennis,
Dennis. Not
Horace
a
Grant.
Mozo, but like Dennis Rodman. You know, so everybody got a roles to play within the ministry that makes it the ministry. Because even though brothers be in the spotlight, man, hey, this like the priest said, man. Just like the things that the brothers do is like that's not on camera is just as important than when someone's out there preaching, being in the spotlight. Because it all comes together as a body, as this chapter is really gonna go into. But you got to know.
Con. This Romans 12:4 now says, for as we have many members in one body, and all the members have not the same office, so we, being many, are one body in Hamashiach, and every one members one of another, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us. So going back to that verse 3, everybody's dirt to a certain portion of grace faith. So according to those grace, portion of faith you was given, with a prophecy, let us prophesy. So the Lord gave you the gift to prophesy. Well, prophesy. That's your portion. According to the propitiation of faith, it's like it. According to the portion of faith, that is not portion.
Proportion.
Yeah,
Proportion.
so like according to the proportion of faith or ministry, it's like you said, you got it because I was speaking up, but you got it though. It
It
says
says,
according.
yeah, it's grace goes into mercy, and that's what the grace period is for you to serve the Lord, serve the body. The grace period ain't for us to just do what the hell we want to do and exalt ourselves and do all. Now this grace period is set up for us to minister unto the Lord. So whatever office the Lord give you, you're supposed to be exercising that during the grace period. And it just said prophecy, because you have certain brothers that's real good they might be good at breaking down the old prophecies, and they might be good at finding the new prophecies. That brother find all the good news articles and all the new information. Some brothers good at geopolitics. Well, guess what? That's the gift of prophecy. You see? Or they might be good at breaking down the prophecy. So, that's one of the offices. You got it, bro.
Yeah. Oh, it's like I just want to make a quick point on that verse 4. I Richard did sooner, but because on that verse 4 it says, the end of part says, and all members have not the same office. All right. So what the Lord give you, of course, it's not going to be the exact same as another brother. Now, of course, it's going to be similar. Some brothers some brothers got multiple gifts, prophecy, ministering, all that. Some of them just ministering or just more so on the prophecy part. It just go how it says they're not in the same office, so they're different. They both have completely different roles, right? Ministering is not the same role as prophesying, right? Ministering is more of a servant role instead of prophesying. Even though it is a servant role, it's more of a teaching role. You know what I mean? So every gift has not the same offices. So with whatever the Lord gave you, you maximize that gift because that's your strength. That's your office. But yeah, that's all I want to say on that.
That's right. It's like it. Keep going. It says verse 27. My bad. Verse 7. Romans 12:7. Or ministry, let us wait. Yeah, or ministry. Let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching.
Yep, somebody are real good teachers. Teach well. You might be good at breaking down breakdowns, or you might be real good at basic milk teaching understanding. Then you guys said ministers. Some brothers are good at serving others. Some brothers have a schedule to be more available to help brothers out, or you just might know a lot of stuff. You might have a lot of information, so you can really help brothers out with certain things, right? So minister, you got it, bro.
Or he that exhorteth on exhortation.
Yeah, but you got some brothers that are good at encouraging other brothers. You know that brothers know how to say the right stuff to brothers to lift them up. You see, whatever the case may be, this is what you bring to the table that helps brothers out. Then you gotta continue to do it, and do it without don't do it as a necessity. Do it with simplicity, like it's gonna go into. You gotta do it. You know, you gotta do it just in faith.
Yep.
You know, knowing that hey, the Lord gonna reward me for everything I'm doing. You see. And understanding that, you know, this is the lot the Lord gave me, so I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna use it and run with it to the best of my ability. You got it, bro.
Man. Do it with diligence. Still in verse 8, he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth with diligence. He that showeth mercy with cheerfulness.
You see. So we'll stop right there. Go to the next one on the First Corinthians. But as you can see, it named all these various different offices, but all these different things are working the same spirit. It's all working towards the house of David being built up. It's all working towards that greater end goal. That's greater than you know, you gonna have situations where you might help a brother out, and you might have to fuck up your plans, or it might be an uncomfortable situation. The brother may have kind of told you in an inconvenient moment or something like that, but you still do it anyway. Guess what? That's stuff that we're gonna have to deal with. But at the end of the day, when you look at that end goal, it's all for the sake of the governing body being built up. It's all for the sake of the kingdom, which is greater than whatever suffering you got to go through helping a brother out, or you know, whatever gift you have. You might do that gift in a moment where you don't feel like doing it. You might feel sick. You know, stuff might be going on with you. You might be catching hell, and you still doing that gift. Well, guess what? That's you looking past the situation you're in now and looking at the end goal. You know, you're looking at the bigger picture, as they would say in the world. You got it, bro.
Yeah, I got a scripture real quick before we get that.
All right.
I paraphrased it earlier, but this is Ephesians 4. I'm gonna get to the point. This is Ephesians 4. Make sure. Yeah, so I'll get to the point. This is Ephesians 4:11. And it's going into Yahweh Shai and pretty much the reason why, you know, because we're going to get that in First Corinthians, but it's going into the aspect of when Yahweh Shai went up to the Father, you know what I'm saying? When he went back up to the Father after being at sacrifice, what did he do? Right? It says, and he gave some apostles and some prophets. This is Ephesians 4:11. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. Right? So the Lord had set up apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers, right? For the perfecting of the saints and for the body, for the edifying of the body, right? Why those offices were set up. Keep going. It says in verse 13, till we all come to the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the power under a perfect man unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of a Mashiach. And the reason I wanted to pull this, because the reason that the Lord set up those different offices is what? So at the end result, it could build up the body so we could receive salvation, so the elect could make it. That's why Paul said, I endure all things for the elect's sake. His office was established for the forwarding of the elect, being able to commit to the obedience of the scriptures and ultimately receive salvation as we go on into the aspects of the body. And I love how the Lord uses the body, because when you think about the body, it ain't just one part of the body working to make the body do a certain movement. It literally takes your whole body to do certain movements. And certain movements in your body are not visible. Certain movements in your body don't get as much love. Like, don't nobody look at your heart and be like, damn, your heart is amazing. They don't see your heart. But your heart is one of the most important organisms of your body. You know, your heart, then your brain. Don't nobody look at your brain. Oh shit, bro, your brain looks crazy. No, they don't see your brain. They might see your head, but they don't see your brain. You know, but your brain is the one that kind of governs the body and regulates the movements, tells the heart to pump blood to your arm so the veins is working, your cardiovascular system is working, your nervous system is working. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the skin on top of that as a protection. You know what I'm saying? All these things play a part, but they all have a different office. You know, but it shows the importance. That's how the Lord likened His men unto. Like y'all all have different positions, but all y'all positions play a part in ultimately helping receive salvation. So we get to First Corinthians though. First Corinthians 12. I should say. I got it.
Yeah, I get it.
No, I got it. I got it. You wanted 12, right?
Yes, verse 40.
Con. I thought you wanted in First Corinthians.
Let me see. Hold up.
Yeah, it's 12 and 12. It's 12
You
and
want 12
12.
and
Oh,
12?
12 and 12. I wasn't looking at it.
Nah, you good. I was like verse 40. I was like, I don't know if but this is First Corinthians chapter 12. Oh, that's funny. They got the Ephesians 4
Yeah,
on here
that
already.
was the next. That was the next one I wanted to say. Yeah, kind.
God, this is First Corinthians chapter 12, verse 12. For as the body is one and has many members, and all the members of that one body being made are one body, so also is Hamashiach.
Yep. So also is all of the elect, man.
Mm-hmm.
All of the believers, they have different offices. Like we read, like Paul went into the details of it in Romans the 12th chapter. So all of it is still of the same body. It's on the same mission. We're on the same team.
Yep.
Everybody wasn't Michael Jordan on 72 and 10 year. Everybody wasn't Steph Curry when they went. I believe they went 72 and 9.
Yeah.
You know, so everybody wasn't Curry. Everybody wasn't Draymond Green on that team. That's you know, certain brothers might not know about the 72-10 team. But when the Warriors went, I believe they went 73 and 9 or 72 and something like that.
73 and 9.
73 and 9. So that when they did that, Curry was like predominantly one of the main scorers. You had Klay Thompson. He was like a spot up shooter and playing good defense. You had Draymond Green grabbing rebounds, talking noise, and you know just being physical. Had his presence and all those different roles. Everybody willingly did that role, and guess what? It led to them. You know, it led to them going barely losing any games.
Yep.
beating Michael Jordan in record. And they even had people like Andre Iguodala who was on the bench. I believe Andre Iguodala played for them that year too.
Yeah.
You know, he was a lockdown defender. He didn't even have no report. Nobody was really talking about Iguodala like that, but he was the one that was playing good defense on people like LeBron and guarding those top scorers.
Yep.
So he even had an important role, a bench player. So that's how it is in this ministry. It's truth.
Even the bench warmers. You know.
Yes, hey, it's spiritual. You say that because guess what? The bench warmers can hand that water over there real quick.
Exactly.
They might be able to inspire the other guys to playing bad. You know what I'm saying? All that.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff plays a factor. And then also you got to keep in mind too, those are the ones that's pushing those guys to get better at practice. Like that's stuff you don't see when you're on a basketball team. You got the guys that have to go at the starters and really put them through work. So that way when game time come, they ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like whenever it's practice time, those bench players, them going at the starters, like trying to, like sometimes the bench player might be trying to get his spot. So that's gonna prompt the starters to go harder. You see what I'm saying? So they're needed, they're important. Because if a guy thinks that his position won't get took, then he's gonna, you know, he ain't gonna have much of a chip on his shoulder the way he play.
Mm-hmm.
You got it, bro.
Keep going, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it says for by one spirit, verse 13 in 1 Corinthians 12, for by one spirit we are all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles, whether we be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into the one spirit.
And this going into the context of that, it's because you know you had a lot of new converts who was Hellenized at first, and they were believing. And Paul was basically saying that there's no difference between them or those who start off in the faith. You know?
Yep.
If you're a believer, you're a believer. It's not no difference. That's what Paul is breaking down. You got it, bro.
God, for the body is not one member, but many. If the foot shall say, this verse 15, it says, if the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, it is therefore not of the body.
That's a question, a rhetorical question. The answer is no. You know, because Andre Iguodala didn't start on that.
He's not on the team.
Was he not a part of the Warriors team? Nah, man. They even have different stories where men will talk about guys that used to go at their ass. Like, it would be a bench player, but he used to go at the starters at practice. And the starters be fighting them and all that stuff. But that kept those starters hungry. But those guys still a part of the team. They still got a ring.
Yep. Even the dude, that's spirit. I was just gonna say that. Like when you look at it, it don't matter what offers they had on the team. Everybody got a ring. Even the coach got a ring. I think even a water boy gets a ring.
Yeah,
I'm just saying the water boy of the squad gets a ring. But you'll be like, he ain't even on the team. No, he part of the team. He just ain't. His office is not where he's out there on the court.
He don't got no. He don't got no. He don't got no. It's a word I'm looking for. He doesn't have a role that's
very pleasing to the eye.
Yeah. He'll have no role that's It's a word I'm looking for. So basically, there are certain things that people will look at as being more. It's a word I'm looking for. Like it's better. Basically, it's more popular. Popular is the word I'm looking for.
Is the word more significant?
People look at that and be like, "Oh, that's cool. It's more popular or cool to be this or that, to be on the front line or whatever." You got it, bro.
God, verse 16. It says, "If the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body. It is therefore not of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? And if the whole, and if the whole were hearing, where were the smelling?"
Yeah, but it's talking about like how it's going into the significance of every role. Because guess what? If every brother wanted to go into geopolitics, then who's going to do the exhortational videos? Who's going to go into the basics? The basic milk videos. Who's gonna go into the history videos? There's different things the Lord bless brothers to go into, and it's like, if everybody trying to do that, who's gonna do the Hebrew? Who's gonna break down the Hebrew videos?
Exactly.
You see, everybody has a role, and then also,
if ain't
some brothers just better at serving. Like, some brothers they real good. They can cook like it's nothing. They can cook like crazy. They know where stuff is. They know how to do a lot of things. Okay, so if those brothers ain't serving, then who's gonna step up? The Lord bless that brother to be real good with the herbs, or bless that brother to be real good with cooking and stuff like that, so he can get that stuff like it's nothing. So a lot of times those brothers will be doing that stuff a lot of times because that's just what the Lord gifted them with. So if they don't do it, who's gonna do it? You got it.
This is verse 17. If the whole body, 17 from the top again, if the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole were hearing, where were the smelling? But now hath the power Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai set the members, every one of them, in the body as it hath pleased him. And if they were all one member, where were the body? But now there are many members, yet but one body.
Yep, all on the same mission. So it's no point in trying to envy or trying to look at, oh, dang, he could be in the front line, and I barely get to teach like that and all that stuff. Well, the Lord has set up that way. That brother's portion is more useful in that way. You see? And that's just the reality. Certain brothers are gonna be more on the front line, and some brothers are gonna be more on the back.
Yeah.
Either way, you still get the reward. And really ultimately he's on your team. And that's a selfish mindset to have, to be like, oh dang, why he get to teach all the time? Why he get to score all the points? You see, because at that point, you're not even worried about the big mission. You ain't trying to win. Because like ultimately, you're gonna have to take a lower role if you want to win.
You have to.
Kyrie had to go like we make all these basketball examples. But it applies.
Okay, cool.
Because basketball is a team sport. It got 5 guys on there. So Kyrie had to take the back burner when he came to play with LeBron. He wasn't a man no more like that. Even now, we played with Luka.
The Mavs.
Yeah, the Mavericks. He had to let Luka. Luka was number 1 option. You see? So that's how it works in this truth too. You may not be the man. The guy that's always bringing out the preachers, getting to teach all the time, which is cool. You still get the same reward. And that brother is helping speed up. That brother is helping us aid and hastening Yahweh Shai's coming. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Your team, he working for you. I'm gonna give another corner example. Just like you know what I'm saying, which is carnal as hell. But let's say Jay get into a damn altercation. There's a whole bunch of y'all fighting. And then one of your homeboys beating everybody's ass up. Your side's still winning. You might have a homeboy that's just whooping everybody's ass. You're like, damn, man, let me whoop somebody's ass. No, you like, shit, we with it. You ain't gonna be worried about that shit. That's how it works with the body. That every brother is helping aid the kingdom being set up.
And it's like, I didn't want to cut you off, man.
Oh no, you good.
And I was gonna say, and that's the thing. because that's what you need. That's the thing. That's what you need to be focused on. You need to be focused on how can you help aid the body. See, that's the problem with Jay. Jay be being carnal. We ain't coming to this thing for vain glory. You're not supposed to be sitting there worried about, dang, he's getting all the glory because he's teaching all the time. Dang. If I know it's not, that's not what you need to be worried about. You need to be worried about what can you do to help aid the body in the forward and the will of Yahweh Bashar Bashar. That's why he gave that's why Paul's going into an example of the body. It's the feet looking at the head like, bro, I'm not part of the body because I ain't the head. The feet like I gotta do my job. If I don't do my job, then the head can't do his job. Then the arm can't do his job. Then the inner organs can't do their job. That's why he chose the body, and like the priest going to. That's why we going into bat sports, because sport is not a one man army. It all boils down to everybody got to be good. Everybody got to help. Think about it when you look at the aspect of the 76ers when they had Allen Iverson. He was the only really good guy on the team. But since his other pieces didn't really help the body as much, they didn't win the series. But when they did do their job, they won one game, but they couldn't win the whole series. Showing y'all it's not just a one individual. Oh, only one guy has to be. You know what I'm saying? No, they needed them other guys to step up, but they didn't. So when it comes to being part of the body of Yahweh Bashar, being part of this ministry, it's all about maximizing your office and seeing what do I need to do to help forward the body, help forward the will. We just read Ephesians. The Lord gave us the apostles, evangelists, teachers for what? The perfecting of the saints. Not so one could be glorified. Oh, you taught so much, you getting salvation. But the brother that was holding post, he gonna be condemned. No. If it wasn't for him holding post, when people walk up, the teacher wouldn't be able to focus on the scriptures because he had to deal with niggas trying to attack him, and at the same time he's trying to teach. you know, all these people had these roles, man, and that's all for the benefit of the body. So your mindset should be, how can I help maximize my office and continue and forward in the will of the Lord, whatever I will receive, And at the end of the day, like the priest said, at the end of the day, man, we all gonna receive salvation and get a reward, you know. At the end of the day, we are. That's the point. That's the main goal. That was it, though.
Let's go to Sirach 44 unless I have something. And I got my last two, so brothers got stuff,
Bring them out. Bring them out.
What is it? We're gonna kind of blow through the Sirach 44.
What is this? 44.
Just a lot on there. Start at first verse, and then let me see.
You want to get it? Oh, nah, I got it.
Oh, you go ahead.
I got it. This is Sirach chapter 44, and starting at verse 1. All right, it says, "Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. The Lord hath wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning. Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies, leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning, meet for the people, wise and eloquent are their instructions, such as found out musical tunes and recited verses in the writings, rich men furnished with ability, living peaceably in their habitations."
God, so it's going into all the sons of God. You can read about all our forefathers, all those great offices they had. They was on a high. The Lord's men is on a high level. That's those giants. The true giants really is the sons of God.
Mm-hmm.
That seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Then you go all the way up more higher. Noah, Shem, Abraham, Isaac, everybody, man.
Excuse me, sorry.
You see, Enoch, all these men. That's who it's going into right here. But you got it, bro.
Yep. Sirach chapter 44, and we have verse 7. It says, "All these were honored in their generations, and were the glory of their times."
So it was more men. That was more. They were a lot of the famous men that it's talking about. They're still they stories are still talked about to this day, like our patriarchs Moses, Daniel, and things of that sort, man. King David, David slaying Goliath. All those men are still spoken about and they still being glorified. But however, it's going to say a key point. You got it, bro.
Continuing on, verse 8, it says, "There be of them that have left a name behind them, that their praises might be reported."
So they're real well known,
Mm-hmm.
which certain men are going to have that office of being more known. But see, in the kingdom, everybody's going to get rewarded. But some men are going to be more well known. It's a lot of prophets that wasn't written about, which this chapter is going to go into. You got it.
144,000.
Okay. Yeah. Verse 9, it says, "And some there be which have no memorial, who are perished as though they had never been, and are become as though they had never been born, and their children after them."
So they're not talked about.
Yep.
You see, they're not. There's going to be certain men that didn't really have no role that was so called popular or in a front line. However,
Yeah.
that doesn't take away from the fact that their reward they have coming or their position that they really are in. Because whatever sacrifice you give to the Lord, you're gonna reap the benefits of that. So if you lived your life with integrity, to the best of your ability, you feared Yahweh Shai, you believe, then the Lord's gonna reward you for it, regardless of if you had one of those popular roles in the front line or not. You got it.
Hey, like you said, I just want to add a good point. There's 144,000 men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's 144,000 men. Now it doesn't mention, you know what I'm saying, all the 144,000 in the scripture, but there's 144,000 men that are gonna be part of the governing body of the dynasty of the kingdom of heaven. Just adding on to your point, because it speaks about Moses, like, it's more than just Moses, Noah, Enoch, it's more than them. It's 144,000.
Yeah.
Even the 12 disciples. I mean, it mentions the 12 disciples, but it don't go into depth in all of them.
Yeah.
It don't speak about Bar Marthou a whole bunch. It talks about it, but it don't speak about them a whole bunch. Oh, Bar Marthou did. It doesn't. But it's 12 disciples.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess get back in it.
Okay.
This is Sirach chapter 44, and we at verse 10. It says, "But these were merciful men, whose righteousness hath not been forgotten."
Hey, everybody's gonna receive the reward.
Mm-hmm.
The least unto the greatest. You got it.
With verse 11 says, "With their seed shall continually remain a good inheritance, and their children are within the covenant."
Yeah.
Their seed standeth fast, and their children for their sakes. Their seed shall remain forever, and their glory shall not be blotted out.
And that shows you that's how Yahweh Shai looks at it. Even the least amongst us will be rewarded, just likewise the greatest. So no role is more significant than any other role. Whatever the Heavenly Father set up, we all just got to do it, and hey, do it in diligence and faith until the end. That's all I want on now. When we get Matthew 20:8, and that's all I had. Unless y'all had some other stuff.
Yeah.
That precept proves that hey, the Lord is gonna deal regardless. If you were a more popular role, or if you were a less popular role, either way, we still working for the same goal.
Yeah.
This is Matthew chapter 20 and verse 8. So when evening was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto his steward, call the laborers, call the laborers, and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first.
You see it? That's talking about that's another word. A laborer, just like saying a servant. That's what minister means, to serve. A ministry is the service. You got it?
Verse 9. And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny.
They got rewarded. Every man. You just gotta look into the details. Every man.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
Verse 10. But when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny.
And it's really kind of spiritual that it said it like that, because in that time period, a lot of the Pharisees, a lot of the men of the circumcision, they thought like, and not even just the circumcision, it could be men that came in first. But when you look into a lot of the men of the circumcision, they was thinking they was on a higher level than other believers, because they started believing first.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, man, we already keeping the laws. We doing this and doing that. Like, what do these new guys? You
They
know,
thought of themselves.
they
They thought,
ultimately they were being carnal. They were looking at their sacrifices being like, oh yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. They were kind of boastful. It's a man to whatever the standard they were keeping. But ultimately, we understand that it's by grace. That's why the Lord's going to deal. The Lord's dealing with us according to grace, not according to our actions and our works and our deeds. You got it.
hey, and like you saying it, you look at the example with what is it called? Look at the example with the in Exodus. You know, you going to that second generation. You know what I'm saying? They made it to the promised land. Most didn't even make it. You know, just showing that aspect though, like with Caleb and Joshua. You know, Caleb and Joshua, they wasn't elevated to like, oh, they're better than everybody else. They're gonna be the only ones going to the promised land because they the first ones that come out of Egypt. They actually walked in the wilderness longer. Nah, it was like, nah, y'all all going to the promised land. You and the new generation. You know, keep going. It says, um, verse 11. Yeah, verse 11. And when they had receded, they murmured against the good men of the house, saying, these lads have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden of the heat of the day.
And that's talking about like ultimately the men that's been in. They've been serving the Lord longer and all that stuff. Well, guess what? This verse perfectly closes out the lesson we're going into.
Yeah.
No role is more important than the other role. No believer is more important than the other believer. Now, is there a hierarchy? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the Lord's going to deal with every brother according to that. So whatever brother has a so-called position where he's more in the forefront, he's going to have a harder walk. You know, his like basically it's going to balance out. The Lord's going to balance out whatever level you on to what you have to deal with and what you have to go through. You see? So it's really all going to be an even sacrifice. So whatever portion the Lord gave you, he's going to test you and you're going to have to earn whatever it is. So it's not going to be no just, oh, yeah, I'm on this level and all that. Every man that's going to be on the level, they had to go through that straight gate. They had to earn it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord's going to tempt them to the level of that point of their faith.
Yep.
You got it.
Hey, like you saying that's what even the priest Osmosis was going into this yesterday. It's all this ministry is all about being selfless. You know, it's not because it's a selfish mindset to be like, well, I came in first off. The priest pulled the dog and James. How every good gift comes from the Lord. So at the end of the day, you didn't do nothing. The Lord brought you in first. He brought you in earlier for a reason. You know. You know what I'm saying? The apostles would mention it all the time. The Lord had us. The apostles mentioned. Apostle Scott mentioned that the Lord had us come in. We had it. That was our lot. We had to come in first. That was our lot. They don't take nothing away from the brother that comes in at the last minute. They don't be like, oh, you came in last minute. You're not getting no penny. No, you still getting salvation. That's your lot was to come in last minute. You know, that's just how it is. That's how the Lord, what His will was.
Yep. Like that damn ain't that Usher singing that song? That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
that's
how it is, man. That's just the way it is. That's the will of the Lord.
yeah. That's how you guys gotta accept it, man.
Yeah.
That's because if you look into the past our forefathers, our past patriarchs, our disciples, they just accepted the role the Lord gave them. It was like, okay, cool. That's how we gotta be. You know, we gotta accept whatever the Lord gives us and then bear it.
Yeah.
Be thankful.
Some brothers, if you got a position, a higher rank or a so-called higher level position, you wouldn't do right. So that's why the Lord ain't giving it to you. Everything is happening for the sake of us making it, for the sake of the governing body, all making it. So some certain things, the Lord will make you be because He knows that that'll get in the way of your service towards Him.
God, this is Matthew chapter 20 and verse 11 again. It says, and when they have received it, they murmured against the good men of the house, saying, these last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden of the heat of the day. But he answered one of them and said, friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst thou not agree with me for a penny?
Yeah, yep, and kind. You see, like Lord basically saying, I do it. Like Lord can give whoever He wants to give any portion of life. The Lord wants to give, do whatever He want to do. Because really, at the end of the day, it's all about grace. Because none of us deserve any position, we get any reward. You know, it's all going to be grace. You know?
And when you think about it, that penny is what? Salvation. The kingdom of heaven, pretty much. So, like, did we not know the reason of us coming back to the obedience of the scriptures? At the end of the day, we all agreed that we wanted to receive salvation. You know, so it's like it ain't, and the Lord's like, that's what you getting. Now, like the priest said, of course, it's going to be a hierarchy. You know, but at the end of the day, whether you was you 144,000, you know, you end up coming in the last second, you know. Nevertheless, we all going to receive salvation, because it's the mindset of being selfless, and not selfish. You gotta see the bigger picture, man.
Yeah. And it's,
by the way, that song that wasn't Usher, that was Phil Collins.
Oh,
you know, Jake they ain't real good at that music. It's Phil Collins. You know, Tupac remixed it.
Oh, okay.
But he do kind of got a voice that do simp that. I could have sworn I heard Usher probably did like a remake of it or something. But yeah, that's the point we went into, man. You know, no role is more significant than any other. You see, how about Shah set it up for every particular brother to be in whatever position they need to be in, and it's all useful. It all is going to benefit the body. From the little role, and this even goes along with families as well. You know, you have certain brothers that may have a woman that believes, or they may have kids that believe. If they're following their father and they're, you know, dealing with him right, then guess what? The Lord's gonna look at how they treated him, and then he's gonna accept that. So no role is more important than any other role. It's all significant. It's all important. And even when it comes amongst the body, the different teachers, different prophets. You know, we have our elders that have been given a higher portion. That's been, you know, they're the men that came in first. You see, they're extremely important. And guess what? The men that their fruit is extremely important. You know, and it's all gonna the Lord's gonna reward every man in that time. You see, the Lord doesn't look down on his servants, and likewise we shouldn't as well. That's all I had.
That's hey, you hit it on the nail.
God, but hey, Lord willing, you know, it edified. We like to end it all by saying, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles, elders, great millstone, rooties well. Till next time, call my Shalom.
Shalom.